fraud, and so forth. So if I don't specifically call your name when I'm answering, please, you understand. Secondly, I was unable to take the names and the media where you work. So when I'm going to answer, I'll just look at the question. And if I have not answered your question, or if you have not answered at the end, you let us know the question again. Now, the first of all, the comments from the director, land frauds and fake titles, these are still noticeable. Yes. Remember, land issues have been here for a very long period of time. And some of these questions have been accumulated. Issues have been accumulated. It's not only yesterday that we started registering, including issues of fraud, fake titles, and so forth. In fact, to tell you the truth, the last 2 years, the Ministry of Lands has been using to try to clean what was done in the past. And I'm not allocating any blame to anybody. These things happen, and it's part of our growth as a country. Having said that, what is the way forward? The way forward is, number one, for people to report any issue of fraud and fake titles. It doesn't matter when it originated. As long as it is proved to be fraud or fake, it will be dealt with. So let everybody be prepared to report. And the reporting points are everywhere. We have the 22 zones. We have the land boards. We have the ministry. Of course, there are no angels in this. And some of them could even be originating from those offices. But the important thing is report it. Now, the current one, we have a system of issuing out titles. The ICT system, the land information system, is now set in such a way that if you get in there to issue a land title, you will leave a trail. You must leave a trail. There's no way you can get into that system. So it is easy to find out who has done that mistake. So if we report, currently we can find out who has done that mistake. If it was done in the long past, we shall also use the same system to address whether it was genuine or not. If it was genuine, we shall find if we find the genuine owner, we shall resolve the matter. So the first thing is report, report, report. Don't take the law into your hands. The authorities, they're the police, there's everybody, there are the land officials everywhere if you have a land issue. Number two, if you have any doubts, let us use the current system. And second, I talked about the portal, the land information portal, which is now in the 22 zonal offices. Please, it doesn't take you a lot of time, and it secures your future for the rest of your holding of that title. If you just take a little time before you transact in any land to make sure you check that title with that zone. It may cost you a day, it may cost you some money, but you are saving so much trouble in the future, and we shall help you. So these issues of fraud, these of fake titles, they are definitely temporary, and they are out of their way, and we in the ministry right now are committed. And if we find anybody who has done it currently, we'll dismiss that person. We will. And then land fragmentation to be minimized partly by physical planning. That's correct, but not totally. Land fragmentation is about you using your land. How do you use your land to the maximum benefit? We shall go out to sensitize. But I think the biggest sensitizer on this issue has been the president. His Excellency the President, he has sent a simple word to the country. He has said, please plot your 4 acres, how to use them. If you are a big family and the head of the family has died, do not divide that piece of land. Form a group to use it. Use it as a family while you acquire other land from elsewhere. Because today, if you are 5 in a house and you divide 4 acres of land among yourselves, in 10 years you will have children. You will probably be 50. How much will you be dividing? Just in 10 years you will be about 50. And then give another 20 years, you will be 100. What will you be dividing? So this message of the president is sacrosanct. It is really the truth. We must all go out. The media, my colleagues, the media, we must go out and sensitize. We must sensitize our people. The Secretariat has already said it. There's nothing you can do without land. There is everything you can do with the best use of land. And this is the way to go. Housing in industrial parks. Our philosophy and our current thinking about housing is to involve everybody. Private partnerships, and I think here, the industrial zone, in the industrial zones, the industries which are operating in those industrial zones should be the first people to take the lead. And we come to supporting them. Together with them can determine the kind of houses which they can use, they can build, the kind of materials which they can use, because at the end of the day, those houses must belong to somebody. They must belong to those workers and their families. They cannot be government houses. So to us, the solution is PPP. These banks I talked about, the National Housing Construction, all those are just coming to help in the implementation of the policy. Now, somebody asked about the role of the LC1s on land transaction. Is it a law or not? There is no law which says that an LC1 must sign your document before it becomes acceptable for Minister of Lands to issue a title. No. The LC1 is merely a witness, if he so wishes to be. For example, when you are buying land, the best witnesses are those people who are going to be your neighbors. The one whose land is in the east, the one who is in the north, the one who is in the west, the one who is in the center, the one who is in the left or the right center of you or surrounding you. Those are people who know the history of that land more than anybody. That even the elders. Then these other community members can come to support. So it's not mandatory. But the LC ones have been useful in the use that they were able to support and identify what is right and what's wrong. I agree with you, a number of them are doing a very good job, but a number of them have gone out of the way. They've commercialized it. They've really commercialized it. With threats, you don't give me the money, I will not sign, and this man should not even sell the land, we shall evict him from this place. No. Those are mere threats, and they are illegal. So there's no basis. Under what circumstances can the same land have two titles? That is either under fraud, under criminality. That is the only circumstances under which the same title should be, the same land should have two titles, two or more. Let's call it multiple titles. It is criminality, it is a fraud. And it is what I've already said, it must be reported. And this is what we're moving to eliminate. We may not have finished it, but we shall finish it if we can be supported as Minister of Lands by reporting. If you have any doubts about your land, if you are suspicious about its authenticity and originality, kindly approach one of our zones and we should be able to help you. Land transferred by land boards to those with most money. Of course, that's another illegality. That's another illegality. The only problem here is our people need to be sensitized about their rights. Because I'm rich, doesn't mean that I have more rights than the other people over my land. No. That is, so if you can sensitize our people and make them to stand up for their rights, this kind of thing will not happen. Because Minister of Lands cannot come and say, from now on, no rich people should go and buy land. Even if I said it here now, they will actually be flocking. And the other people will say, this rich man has come, he has brought us money for me, I'm going to do this. They will ignore my advice. But people must come out and stand for what is right. It will work. And it will help to eliminate this situation. What should be done to stop land wars? I think that question is also partly answered by what I've already said. Because land wars are taking place. Even the government cannot take policemen to put everywhere there's going to be a land war. Because we do not know until it has happened. And by the time the government comes there, it will have happened. So the only way to make sure that land wars are stopped is for the government, through the Ministry of Lands, to do its best to sensitize the people about their land rights. As many people as possible to register their land, to register the public land, to make sure that what is legally done by the ministry is done. And then after that, make sure that the people report what is not done properly by other people. How do we stop forged papers? There's no, there are 10, I belong to a religion called the Catholic Church. And there are 10, they say there are 10 commandments. However much you sing these commandments every Sunday, every religious day, people are every day breaking them. Every day. Why do you think we go to Sunday, every Sunday? We go to pray in order to come out, not even waiting for Monday, but immediately after the prayers to start breaking those laws. So breaking laws is a natural thing, it will happen. It is in human nature. That's why government makes its own laws to control it. And if all these laws can be accepted by the people, then we should be able to control them. How is the government fighting, the ministry fighting corruption by people buying land? I didn't phrase it correctly, but really it is the same thing. Government has a responsibility to sensitize the people, to register their land, to make sure that people own proper titles. But after that, there is also a responsibility of the public and our landowners to come forward and make sure. For example, what we are doing in Bunyoro is both making sure that we fight corruption, but also fight what the director said is historical injustices. That is what the government must do and continue to do everywhere. Misuse of caveat, can I ask or Mr. Bo, you will answer that. Land evictions doesn't give me a license, colleagues. Ugandans, it doesn't give me a license to go and commit a crime. I am equal before the law. I'm equal for the same punishment. So somebody saying there, I'm evicting you, but don't do anything because I come from State House, I'm a minister, is not in any way an answer. And it should never be accepted. The people have a right and way right to steal. I'm from, not only that, even I'm from one or two cases where we've even seen some people who said, I'm a man of God, don't challenge me. I'll call God to come and ban you. We have seen these things.